Hi, so in today's quick tip video, I'm going to just do a quick comparison between our old paper trimmer, which is now retired, and our new paper trimmer. This paper trimmer, the new one, is only available to demonstrators. So the only way that you can get this before anybody else is to either be an existing demonstrator or join my team and put this into your starter kit. So it's not a review because I've not had this long enough to make any kind of informed decision about its cutting, but I just want to show you a side-by-side comparison. So the first thing you'll notice, colours still the same, size very, very similar in length. This new one is more streamlined, I think. It's angular as opposed to this one that's got curves on it. The original paper trimmer, as you know, has been retired because Stampin' Up had problems getting the blades from the manufacturer. The trimmer itself is not manufactured by Stampin' Up. They partner with a company and have it logo branded. This particular trimmer, they couldn't get the supplies that they needed, the blades, so they had to retire it. They had no other choice. So they've partnered with another company who make trimmers, and this is the result. So just the basics first of all. As I say, they're similar in height, similar in width. This particular trimmer has a sliding lock on the top that locks the cutting arm into place. This one doesn't. It basically just locks itself. It's got grooves in here and in here, and it just locks in itself so that when you tip it upside down, it doesn't open. So it's great for, you know, if you transport into classes and that kind of thing. The original trimmer, when you open the arm, extended to about 14.5 inches, and the profile on this is quite high off your desk, so this wobbles about a little bit. Now, it did have an arm underneath that you flicked out and you locked into place so that when you locked it, it became more stable. So I'll just put that one back. This one, the arm is all neatly tucked in, so it's all completely streamlined, as I say, whereas this one, the arm, you know, juts out on the side here. So this one, you slide the arm out. Let me move this out of the way. And this one, when fully open, sits flat completely because it's a lower profile off your desk. And this arm extends to about 17.25. So if you do have bigger papers, you know, especially if you have like a ScanNCut and you use 12 by 24 sheets, this one has got the extended arm on, which will just support your paper a bit more. And as I say, no need for any arm to pull out underneath because the profile of the cutter itself is lower, and literally the minute you extend this out, it just sits there on the table, and then it slides back in and locks in. I have to say, I did like my old trimmer. I mean, I was a Stampin' Up demonstrator probably over 3 years ago and never bought the trimmer at the time because I had a Fiscus trimmer, which I'll show you in a minute, just as a comparison. But when I rejoined in January, it is the first thing I wanted to buy. And to be fair, I was gutted when I found out it was being retired. The one thing that I didn't particularly like about this trimmer was the blades. I did find that they dulled easily. Having said that, so did the blades on my Fiscus trimmer, and I tried the titanium blades, the regular blades, and they seem to dull as well. But I'll just go into the blades in a bit more depth in a few minutes. So similar size in height and width, lower profile, arm swings out, extends further, sits flat. This locks into place. Now, just going to this one. On the original trimmer, if you wanted to cut anything using the ruler on this side rather than the, you know, the main side, if you wanted to cut something small, there was a gap here between the butt bar because of this cutting track. So your paper could shift if you were trying to cut something really small. The thing with this trimmer, the butt bar goes all along here. It's higher here and lower here, but it's still there. So if you want to cut something, you know, at just 1/8 of an inch, your paper is sitting here. It's not going to go anywhere. So you're going to get a straight cut. The other thing in difference is this one has the removable cutting strip that used to get all gunked up with paper, but you know, you could turn it over and use alternate sides, and that would drop out, you know, if you didn't have this arm locked into place. The new one has a solid cutting track. Doesn't get removed at all. Easy to clean, just get a piece of card, run it through the channel, blow any dust out. And as you can hear, that locks into place. Okay, so just as a, you know, a brief comparison, that's how they look. Blades wise, they've both got scoring and cutting blades. The original trimmer had a little arrow on the front so that if you were using the ruler here, or you'd got a piece of card with a score line in it and you wanted to line this up, you had a little mark that you could line it up with. This one has got marks on all 4 corners. So it's got a mark here, here, here and here, and the same on the scoring blade. So again, you know, if you've got a score line on your card here and you wanted to line this blade up, you know, to maybe cut an aperture, you've got all the markings there for you. This new one has got an inch marking ruler on the arm, whereas the original one had a metric ruler on the arm. Both trimmers have got metric and imperial, top and bottom, but this one has also got a section in the middle. So if you're a card maker and you tend to just use matting layers for the fronts of your cards, this is an extra way you can line up a piece of card. You know, if you're going at the inch mark, you know, if you've got it lined up here at the inch mark, you've got an extra line there that you can line it up. Just it's kind of, there's a lot of features, I think, built into this that's been well thought out. So I'm going to show you the blades before I do any cutting. So the original one, there was a little gap in the track at the bottom, and you had to, and the blade hooked on. And it's the one thing that I have to say that I always struggled with, trying to get the blade in and out. I never seemed to get it right. I'd end up flicking it across the room. It kind of hooks on. It's hard to explain, and I'm trying to do it upside down and I can't do it. So I'm going to come over here and see if I can pop it out that way. So that's your blade in your original trimmer. The new trimmer has a little tiny gap at the bottom again, and the way this one works is, again, I'm trying to do it upside down. It lifts out, and by that what I mean is on the side, the blade's in the middle and it's got these 2 little lugs, and basically what happens is you put one of those little lugs into the gap, slide it in, and then the other one drops in, and then it's easy. So I'm just going to pop it out again. And the scoring blade works exactly the same. Now, I want to try and show you something. Not sure how well you are going to see this, but this is the blade in the original trimmer. And I don't know if you can see, but it's very, very small. This is the blade in the new trimmer, and it's bigger, a lot bigger. But what I want to show you is, this is the blade in my old Fiscus trimmer, which on the face of it looks very similar from the top to the new blade in the Stampin' Up trimmer. But they are a world apart on blades, and I'm going to try and show you if I can. So there's the blade in the Fiscus trimmer. There is the blade in the Stampin' Up trimmer. Again, it's a lot bigger. So there are 3 blades. So these are the type of blades that we've been used to using in the past if you've had the Stampin' Up trimmer or a Fiskars trimmer. So this blade is slightly bigger than the Stampin' Up blade, original blade, but the new blade is huge in comparison. So I have to say I have high hopes for this new blade. So I'm just going to pop my blades back in so I don't end up losing them. And what I will do is, my old Fiskars trimmer I only use if I'm cutting up things like chipboard for mini albums, or if I'm ever using glitter card and that kind of thing, because they do dull your blade. So I've just kept this old trimmer and that's all I use this for. I won't buy any more blades initially for this, but the blades are still available because this is a trimmer that, you know, I think you can still get your parts for. But what I will do, I'm going to keep my old Stampin' Up trimmer. I have got a few old blades that I do keep, and I'll use this for the same thing, chipboard or glitter card. And this new one will become my new paper trimmer. Now, they are sold as paper trimmers, but we do all use them for cutting card, don't we? But to be fair, you know, it's called a paper trimmer for a reason. So I'm just going to pop that back in, and I'm just going to move that one out of the way. I'm just going to turn this one around because I find it easier for me to work this way. So I've just got a few bits of card. So this is our regular Whisper White. So I'm going to flick up the arm. I'm just going to line it up at the 2-inch mark and cut. And that's my cut. This is thick Whisper White. Going to do the same. As I say, I can't, you know, do an out-and-out review on this because I've not had it long enough to use it. But the blade, you know, slides through easily and cuts. That's all I can say at this moment in time. And again, a piece of crumb cake, and it slides through and cuts through easily. If you do classes, or if you do paper shares and things like that, like I do for my Stampin' Up business, and you cut a lot of card or paper, you know, you could use this, but I don't know how long the blades would last. It'll be interesting to see, because as I say, this is only available to demonstrators, and we've only been able to buy it since the 1st of October. So it'll be interesting to see, as the demonstrators use it, how long they feel these new blades last in comparison to the old one. But I will be perfectly honest, and I will say to you, when I'm cutting up papers for paper shares, or I'm cutting up card bases for, you know, online card classes that I offer, I don't use any of my paper trimmers. The thing that I use and have used is this, my Zutter Dream Cuts, which I've had years. This has a self-sharpening blade, and this cuts 12 by 12 into 3 equal sections, but it also cuts card in halves. And this is what I use for cutting up my 12 by 12 into 6 by 6 packs, or as I say, if I'm making card classes and I'm cutting up A4 card, you know, to make card bases, this is what I use. It's a manual cutter. You just put your card in, you roll the handle. As I say, it's got self-sharpening blades inside, and it cuts them. And I've had this years. I bought it I think from memory, I bought this at the NEC craft show many, many, many years ago when my daughter was little, and she's just turned 17, so I've had it a long time. And I bought it at the same time as I bought the Zutter Bind It All, because I used to make mini albums when she was little, you know, and put photographs and things like that in. So this I've had years and I use it, and this is what I use for bulk cutting. I will use my paper trimmer sometimes when I'm doing videos for speed, if I just need to cut a card in half quickly. But if I'm bulk cutting, it's that one. This is lighter than this one as well. This one, the original cutter, I've weighed it so I know, weighs 598 grams. This new one weighs 421, so it's like 177 grams lighter. And I think that's because this one has no built-in storage. This one used to have a storage box in the bottom that I have never used, never at all. And as you can see, I didn't lock the arm and the cutting track has fallen out. So I think this probably accounts for the extra weight, possibly. I don't know, but as I say, this original one was 598 grams. The new one is a lot lighter at 421. But the main advantages that I can see for this are that the ruler on this side of the track extends up to about 1.5 inches, whereas this one went to just over 1 inch. The arm extended on this one extends to over 17 inches. This one only went to just over 14. It's got the extra built-in ruler section in the middle as well as top and bottom, the same as the original, but as I say, this has got the extra. And the blades look a lot better. When you're cutting, you can keep, you know, your scoring blade. If you're scoring, you can keep your cutting blade well out of the way, and vice versa. You can keep your scoring blade out while you're cutting. I'll just take this one out and show you this. And again, the scoring blade is more like a little wheel on this one. And I'll get this one out to show you. This one is just a tiny little ball. So again, this one is a bigger scoring blade. So let's just try it with a piece of card. Pop this one back in. See where the hole is. Yeah, and it scores. Scores nice. There's not much to say about the scoring blade really, other than that it scores, you know, it does what it says on the tin. So that's just my little comparison. This one has also got a hanging handle, so you know, if you are short for space, you could put a little loop somewhere and hang this up. Lighter, more streamlined, lower profile. But the main thing for me is the blade. The blade is a lot bigger and a lot deeper. But, you know, time will tell. So I just thought I would give you, you know, a quick comparison to let you know the differences. And if you are thinking of joining my team, I would love to have you. And as I say, if you wanted to put this in your starter kit, you can do. The only way that anybody can buy this new one at the moment is by being a demonstrator. So that's an existing demonstrator, whether you're a demonstrator just for the discount or whether you're a business demonstrator like me, or if you want to join my team and just join for the starter kit, this can go in your starter kit and you'll be able to get it. They've not given us any dates at all as to when this will be available for customers. What they've said is they've released it to demonstrators, or new demonstrators can put this, as I say, in the kit initially, and they want to see, you know, what the reaction is to it, and you know, how many people buy it and that kind of thing. The last thing they wanted to do was put this on open sale and everybody wanted to buy it and they'd end up going on to, you know, back order straight away. So they've literally just bought stock and are giving it to demonstrators at the moment. And then once they've got, we can order this up to the 31st of October. But there's no saying that then it will become available to customers. It's just that that's the buying period we've got at the moment, and they're going to wait and see what happens. So anyway, I don't know if that's helped or not. If you need any more information or there's anything that I've not mentioned, you can contact me through my blog. My blog details are always under the YouTube video. Go to my applelover53.co.uk blog. There's a contact tab on there, and you are more than welcome to contact me and ask me any questions, or if there's something I've not covered and you want to know about, just contact me and let me know. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe if you don't do so already. I know there are a lot of people that follow my channel that aren't subscribed, and I'm nearly at 30,000 subscribers, and I would love to get there in the next couple of months if possible. So if you don't already subscribe, please do, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.